Today is a very sad day. It is the last full official day of the Black Ops 6 beta. Currently at the time of recording this video, it's about 1 o'clock on Sunday. We now have less than 24 hours left of the beta. By the point in time this video goes up, the beta will be officially over. I'm still planning on doing the beta review video, which will go up after this one. So for this video here today, I wanted this to be more of a Weekend 2 recap and also talking a little bit more about the snipers and the balance. Because at the start of Weekend 2, I heard a whole lot of people talking about, oh, it really feels like they buffed the ADS here on the LR, and no, they did not. It was very much placebo. I believe the only thing that was adjusted as far as the snipers go was the crouch movement speed. It went from like 2.41 to 2.31. It was something very minuscule like that. There wasn't any sort of overarching change to the snipers, but that could obviously very well change going into the full launch of the game. What I've been really wanting to try here on the LR with this class is actually running Gunfighter and throwing on the additional suppressor, short barrel, and the precision handguard. These 5 attachments here are the main ones that I've been using, and the only real change that I actually made to the LR class here was switching off of the Rxqe laser to the target laser because of the benefit that it gives to the aiming idle sway delay, which this is a huge thing that I really wanted to talk about as far as the sniping goes in this game. I've been making so many comparisons to Black Ops 1, and it really does feel like that, because what I've been noticing more and more with the LR is that it has that kind of initial sway once you aim in. It feels very similar to Black Ops 1, where the crosshair of the scope is not exactly in line with where you're aiming. Now here with the target laser, it does seem to help out a little bit, but you guys can still see it, that it has that initial like little bit of sway to it. Here, I'll go ahead and take it off. Without the target laser on, when you go to scope, oh, never mind. Going to aim in without the target laser, as you guys can see again, that crosshair just has a little bit of sway to it. It's not even a new thing either. Again, just going back to the Black Ops 1 comparison, or even I'm pretty sure it was a thing in Cold War. I know it's a thing in the new Modern Warfare 3 as well, because they had that update a couple of months ago where they really adjusted the initial ADS sway, but they didn't really tweak it so much on snipers, so it wasn't, you know, super overtuned or overpowered. We've definitely seen and experienced this kind of thing before. It's not a drastic change, but I also feel like it has a little bit of explanation as to why at times shots are going right through people, or at least it seems that you're missing the shots that you really shouldn't be missing. I mean, I know I live off of that copium of, oh, you're lying to me, that shot didn't miss, but yeah, no, there are plenty of times where it really does seem that my shot just completely goes right through people. I'll go ahead and put an example up on the screen for you guys, which again does kind of go back to the whole Black Ops 1 feel, where you really have to be fully scoped in before shooting and not so much pop shotting, so that way your shot has a much better chance to actually go where you're aiming and not be pop shotting so much. But then again, that's also what's really good about the Rxqe laser. Hold on. Nope, no fourth. I've looked towards that spawn trap back there so much and trying to hit something. Oh, I broke his armor. There we go. Also, quick side note, I've seen a lot of people talk about over the weekend that they're so sick of playing Kill Order. This might be a pretty unpopular opinion, but I really don't mind Kill Order. It feels like Team Deathmatch, but there's a little bit more movement and flow to it. I feel like it is also very dependent on the lobby, and very dependent on how, if players are actually playing around the HVT, because if they are, you can kind of predict where a lot of people are going to be. Kind of brings action to numerous parts of the map. I'm not going to sit here and say it's going to be like my main mode in Black Ops 6 or anything like that. I'm still going to be mostly queuing hardpoint, but I really haven't minded it that much. Huge win. Let's go. Now, one thing that I've really noticed about the sniping in the beta is that just about every single gripe that I've had with the snipers, I feel like is adjusted in some way, shape, or form by the attachments. There's like a countermeasure to the attachments. I just feel like so far in the beta, Treyarch is really making us think a little bit more about the kind of decisions we make with the attachments and how it works better with our playstyles, which again, yes, it is how attachments work. You choose them based on your playstyle. For example, one of the biggest complaints that I've had with the snipers is at times when you slide, the delay of firing a no-scope just feels really, really slow, but there's also attachments that help with the slide to fire times and diving to fire times. I haven't had the chance to test this, but here, for example, with the quick draw grip, even though it gives you a +3 benefit on your ADS with no cons, apparently there's a little bit more flinch now in Weekend 2 with the quick draw grip. So maybe, for example, the ergonomic grip might not be a bad idea to go for if you don't mind sacrificing a little bit of ADS speed. Or again, even the commando grip, just 1 ADS, 1 sprintifire, so you get a little bit of both. Now again, this isn't to say that they couldn't make any adjustments to the base weapon, you know, without having to tweak the attachments so much. Of course, they could change the overall ADS, sprintifire, whatever it may be. But I feel like with the way that they've balanced the attachments so far is that they're pretty minimal yet significant changes spread out across numerous attachments, so it makes you really pick and choose a little bit more. Things like that, of course, they can always make changes like that, but it just feels right now there's more choices and benefits, pros and cons across numerous attachments, which, like I was saying, is a huge part of the reason as to why I'm really trying out Gunfighter on the LR762 here. I never really used Gunfighter a whole lot in Cold War just because, I mean, the Tundra really didn't need it a lot of the time. But again, though, it just seems as of right now, there's more to the attachment adjustments. There's more going into the choices. Now, I know one of the biggest complaints so far, especially when against sniping on keyboard and mouse, was the whole ADS sensitivity transition timing issue. If you were someone that was using that instant setting, they did remove it from the game, and there was an update from the COD Updates Twitter saying that they did fix it, and it's going to be in the full launch of the game. So it didn't come to the beta weekend. So sensitivity was a huge part of the issue. Sensitivity, and then again, just the way that the centering is just a little bit weird right now. I feel like could probably get some adjustments, but again, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Nice shot.
But did he say no shot or nice shot? I mean, yeah, I surprisingly hit a collateral, yeah, which is another thing. On a quick side note, though, I did want to bring that up. The collateral damage, I feel like, could be adjusted on the LR. Just increasing the penetration potential and power on it would be nice. Which, again, I know, of course, you have the FMJ rounds. FMJ's been helping a ton with collaterals, but I don't know what the best way to go about balancing that would be. I have seen people hit triples. I have seen a quad with the LR with rapid fire on it, so it definitely is possible. It just feels like at times I'm getting a ton of hit markers with it. Maybe if there's eventually a way to run rapid fire and FMJ, I'll gladly trade off another attachment for that. But it's like I've been talking about over the course of the beta weekends here, is that sniping is in a position right now where adjustments could be made to make it better. In comparison to, again, Treyarch's last Call of Duty with Cold War, where in the alpha specifically they were overtuned, they adjusted them for the beta, and then once again adjusted them on the full launch of the game. It feels like we're in a position now where the snipers could definitely be made better. There haven't been any over adjustments to it to where it's like, yeah, this will get nerfed back. I don't think there's anything that comes to mind really where it's like, yeah, the snipers definitely need this nerf. It already took us to get to level 42 to get rapid fire on this thing, and even so still, again, flinch is definitely there. I don't think that's a problem. There is, again, the ADS sway off rip. It's not exactly very centered. Unless you're using certain laser attachments, there's all sorts of trade-offs to it right now. I feel like for what it's worth right now, the snipers are in a pretty decent spot, but they're in a spot to where it's like, adjustments could be made. One thing I know I'll definitely end up talking a lot more about is how the snipers are balanced with the way the maps are in this game. As a very short segue into that, I feel like the snipers could probably use a little bit more ADS adjustments and just handling adjustments due to the map sizes, because as of right now, I think the only map that's actually beneficial for sniping would be Scud, when, you know, you're kind of like holding that head glitch. I say beneficial for sniping in the traditional sniping role, you know, where you would expect people to, you know, be sitting back, staying hard scoped. This, of course, could change going into the full launch of the game, as again, we haven't seen the full map selection, but just going off of what Treyarch has talked about, how every single map in this game, at least as of right now, are small to medium-sized maps. So with that, the traditional sniping role, if that's what they want to balance it around, isn't really matching the map design. It's kind of like a similar issue to what we had in Black Ops 4. The weapons don't fit super well within the maps and the sandbox of it, so the balance of it's going to have to be adjusted, but again, we'll see. Basically, it's like you can't have too slow or too weak of snipers on very small maps, because then at that point in time, the game's just going to be dominated by ARs and SMGs. There's not really going to be like a balance or a place for snipers to properly or efficiently be used, but again, we'll see. I use the terms properly and efficiently very loosely in this regard, because you guys see how I play the game. But again, though, I just don't know if it's going to be another situation like Black Ops 4. Now, besides all that, though, here in Weekend 2, the level cap was increased to level 30, got a couple new weapons, new perks, new field upgrades, because now we have the Sleeper Agent field upgrade, which has been a whole lot of fun to use. What I've also noticed is that when you're a Sleeper Agent, you can actually talk to the enemy team. You can talk to the enemy team, and honestly, it's been so much fun causing chaos like this. It is a really cool gimmick, and again, for anyone that's worried about Sleeper Agent, there is a perk called Vigilance in this game, which completely negates if an enemy is trying to use Sleeper Agent. You see them as is. You make audio cues and call-outs like enemy Sleeper Agent spotted. There's plenty of counterplay to it, but it's a really cool quirk. Now, also with Weekend 2, it was only taken out for a day, but they did actually get rid of Scud, and they added that new map Babylon, which I'm sure you all are familiar with now. Scud did come back to the rotation, in which, again, I know, probably unpopular opinion, but I really don't mind Scud. Of course, Scud, unlike any map, is very game mode dependent. I'm not like super thrilled to play it for like Team Deathmatch or Kill Order, but Domination and Hardpoint, I really don't mind it. I think that's also another discussion to be had, kind of piggybacking off of what I was just talking about with how they're going to balance snipers in the maps. If every single map in this game really is supposed to be small to medium size, I'm a little bit curious as to what's going to change about that going into the post-launch content. And again, just going off of what I was talking about a little bit ago with how the snipers are going to be balanced with these small to medium sized maps, I am a little bit curious again to see what the overall map selection is going to be like in this game. I know Treyarch's idea of this game was to have all small to medium size, the whole like action hero shooter kind of vibe to the game, which I do think is really nice, but also at the same time, I do appreciate the more balance of small to medium size, or even having some larger maps in the game. But I could also understand they probably don't want to add like, you know, super huge maps into the game, so then that way all the Omni movement changes they made feel redundant. We'll just see how it goes though when the full game comes out. I'd say with Weekend 2, one of the biggest things that I was really happy about was actually giving us Tac Mask, now that I can actually run my Flak Jacket and Tac Mask combo, which also, that's another thing. It really does feel like Flak Jacket actually works pretty well in this game. I'm not saying it's like Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2 levels of flak jacket, but it's definitely better than this new EOD version that we've had in the new Warzone era of Call of Duty. It definitely seems like you can survive a little bit more when it comes to explosions in this game, which is really nice. Tac Mask as well has also been a really nice adjustment because, again, it feels like you can survive or not get as affected by your typical stuns and flashes and whatnot, so have a little bit more of a fighting chance when you do get hit by an explosion or a stun or flash, whatever. It's definitely been one of my biggest gripes about recent Call of Duties in the way that they've handled their perks. It's like they just don't feel as useful. We'll definitely have a much better look and feel of how everything works when the full game comes out after Treyarch maybe make some more adjustments to it. We'll see. As it usually goes with the betas, at this point in time, I'm just ready for the full game to come out. I feel like it's going to be pretty weird going back to the older Call of Duties, but also at the same time, I'm so used to playing the older.
That shit was clean, bro.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. For a second, I thought he was on the enemy team. And again, like I've been saying, we gotta have the option to talk to the enemy team in like this post-game lobby moment. I don't know if that was intentional by design or if that's just a bug in the beta, but I really hope we can actually talk to the enemy team again once the game's over. For the final update today here on Sunday, they added a brand new map called Stakeout, which is a gunfight map. I was honestly really hoping it was going to be another face-off map to add in with Gala and Pit. Oh, and they did re-add it. Okay, good. They re-added Kill Confirm to face-off. I was missing that because it was just TDM and Kill Order all weekend in face-off. Now again though, after this video, I will have my full BO6 beta review video. I don't know if it'll go up on Tuesday right after this video, or maybe at some point later on in the week. But again, I'll have more notes and more things to talk and yap about with my overall thoughts on the game. But just for short, I really have been having a really good time with this game. Learning the Omni movement, the sniping's been a nice new challenge. It really has been a whole lot of fun. Once again, we've hit that point in the Call of Duty cycle. The beta's now out, and it's just give us the full game already. But we're gonna have Black Ops 6 back again before we know it. Might also be another unpopular opinion, but I'm kind of alright with the beta ending because I'm excited to go back and play some Modern Warfare 3. I want to get caught up on that game too. For now though, go ahead and let me know what your thoughts are on weekend 2 of the beta. What did you guys think of the overall beta? Because again, by the point in time this video goes up, it's gonna be over. We'll talk more about it in the review video. But again, for now though, that's gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you all so much for checking it out. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. It's been Rage, and I will talk to you guys later. Take care, everybody.